What's going on, everybody? It's Teal, aka Board of Education, and I'm here on behalf of the Hip Hop and R&B Party. I've been online recently, and I realized that a lot of people don't realize that the power that they have. Straight up, just do not realize all the power that they have. The question, the purpose of this sit down is, can we come together and fix the economy ourselves? There's a few things that you need to know. So, you need to know what the GDP is. I really feel like most people think that the GDP is just something that politicians and big businesses and corporations are able to talk about. Stop selling yourself short. You are just as smart as these people. And to keep it real, these are not very difficult concepts. The GDP, gross domestic product, is basically the sum total of all of the things that get sold in the United States, that were made in the United States. But it accounts for goods and services. America has the highest GDP of any country in the world. I also feel like that's why all of these problems are happening in the world, but that's another topic for another day. Just to give you a little bit more perspective on the GDP, America, our GDP is like anywhere between 25 and I say 28 right now. I don't have the numbers in front of me. China, I'm sorry. When I say those numbers, I'm talking trillions of dollars, right? So anywhere between 25 and 28 trillion dollars. China, which is second, has a GDP that's like 19 to like 21 trillion dollars. So we're up here with 25 and they're here with 19. Let's just say. Also, anything that I say, please look it up, because I don't talk to y'all without looking stuff up. So I know when you go look it up, you're going to find the same thing I found. I'm keeping it real with y'all, but I want you to look, just so that you have some peace of mind, so that you can stop looking after a while. After a while, you're going to be like, nah, I know he looked it up. So our GDP is at 25. China's GDP is at 19. The next country after that, I'm not sure who it is, but the GDP is nowhere near 19. It's a single digit number. So it's just us and China. Like, Russia's GDP is like less than $3 trillion. So that just shows how far ahead we are as far as our economy to a country like Russia, but how close we are in economy to a place like China. And China is moving fast, and we're not moving as fast as we used to. And I think that's why all of these things are happening. And I think that's why, just watch the news and just have that in mind, because I don't want to spend too much time on that, because it gets real. It's intense. I'm here to talk about how we could fix the economy ourselves. There's a few things that we could do. Support local business. That gets said all of the time, right? Support local business. That basically makes sure that you keep the money in the community. It creates jobs. If it's a business that has more than one employee, which is not normal for small businesses, but it needs to become normal. You need to, develop businesses that have employees so that you could add more to the GDP, right? And also, it helps your neighborhood to be stronger. The more that you support your local businesses, the better it is for your community and the overall GDP of the country. We got that? Cool. Let's move on. Keep learning and developing new skills. Do not stop learning. Don't just graduate from college or graduate from high school and then say, yo, this is what I do. Nah, you have to do more. That's only if you want to add to the GDP. That's only if you want our country to remain number one on the list. Because I don't know about y'all, but I feel like once we're not number one on the list, things start to change. And I think that change is going to happen within the next 15, 20 years. I'm just saying. This is why I'm here. I'm here to give y'all information. Please go look it up. So we want to support local business, and we want to keep learning and developing skills, because once you have skills, once you keep learning, your human capital, is what we call human capital, goes up. You're more valuable to society. You could sell yourself, your services, and things of that nature to become someone that adds to the GDP. Start a business or a side hustle. But make sure all of these businesses and side hustles are legit. Make sure that you're paying taxes. Make sure that all of this stuff is contributing to the GDP. Really simple stuff. Now, also remember, I only prefaced all of this stuff with the GDP so that you really get an understanding of how this thing really works. You do things that add to the GDP, you get compensated, but you also get celebrated. In this country, they celebrate people that contribute to the gross domestic product. If you do things that take away from the gross domestic product, or you don't add to the gross domestic product, then we don't really, in this country, we really don't rock with you. You need to understand that. We good? Let's move on. Participate in the workforce. So if you're not doing a business, if you're not running a business, if you're not an entrepreneur of any sort, if you don't have a side hustle, then go get a job. When you get a job, you're participating in someone else's business, which makes that business stronger. You do a good job, that business gets stronger, the economy gets better. So work. Part-time, full-time, work. Also, you gotta really, really have the gross domestic product, the GDP, in your head during all of these things that the country is talking about. I'm sure business owners on a grand scale that are surrounding these politicians and lobbying for all of these things, and fighting for all of these things, they know that they're adding to the GDP, so they have a bargaining chip, and they can talk to these people any way they want. You need to know this. Also, buy products that are made in America. I know that sounds impossible. You think about the things that you buy. How many of them are actually made in America? Because when they're not made in America, you're adding to somebody else's GDP. You buying all of these products that are not made in America, so another country's GDP is raising while you're doing this stuff. Even stuff like we on TikTok in large numbers in America. You know whose product that is? It's China's product. That's adding to their GDP. Every single person that is a person that's on that app is adding to the GDP of that country, not ours. That's why it's a big deal. That's why it's a conversation piece. But in the back of your head, I need you to know that it's not adding to our GDP, it's adding to theirs. Or it's not adding to our GDP as much as it's adding to theirs. So you need to know that. Also, you need to spend responsibly and invest in the stock market. Spend responsibly. Stop supporting all of these different brands and support someone locally. Add to the GDP and support local business. I don't understand. I mean, I think we all understand this. We all talk about generational wealth. Yo, I want to have generational wealth. I'm working on generational wealth. And we say it all the time. But we're making sure that all of these families, these other families, have generational wealth because we're pouring into their family with our funds. The money's leaving our community, but it's going to them. We got to spend responsibly. And if you're going to spend recklessly, at least invest into the stock market. So if you buy this product, if you're buying Nikes, buy Nike stock. If you're buying an Apple phone, buy Apple stock on top of that. If you drive a Tesla, buy Tesla stock. Or find some American companies and invest in the stock market there. Disney, Amazon, stuff like that. These are American companies. It adds to our GDP, our gross domestic product. Engage in community. Engage in, we need civic engagement also. You guys need to really, really pay attention to the idea of strengthening your community. It's not as difficult as you think. If you don't take part in that local conversation, you don't add to the broader conversation that happens federally. That's just how things work. It's just how things work. So you need to engage, because you don't tell them that you need this in your neighborhood. You don't tell them that. Simple thing. We need a rec center. We need a rec center in every community, I would say, so that we could pour into our community, so we can keep our kids entertained, so that we could let our children and youth know the power that they possess. And they're not going to learn the power that they possess unless the community engages. That's one of my major goals. I really, really care about this. I feel like I said it already. Let me just end it with one more thing. And I know this is going to get heat, but it's fine. I don't mind, because I have to tell you the truth. We have to travel domestically every once in a while. I know it sounds crazy. I know you want to go overseas, you want to stay on a resort, you want to see exotic people, you want to, whatever, right? But every once in a while, you have to travel domestically, because domestic tourism brings in money. If you live in Virginia and you come to New York City and you go up and down Times Square, you might end up, you're going to stay in a hotel, you're going to get a flight in the country, you're going to, what else? You're going to buy stuff while you're here, hopefully not on Canal Street. You're going to go up and down Fifth Avenue. All of these businesses that you patronize add to the GDP, which helps the economy. We taking this in? I need y'all to take this in. But also, I need y'all to know it is not this simple. All of these individual choices that I'm asking you guys to make in order to add to the economy, you can't just do it alone. You got to let other people know that this is how we're moving, so that they could do it too. But then there's also government policies that you have to make sure happen or don't happen, so that we get more bang for our buck. If you're doing all of the things right, but you're not getting, you're getting taxed at a certain level, or business owners are not getting taxed at a certain at a certain rate, because the ideology of this political party doesn't match the ideology of this political party, and we keep changing it and going back and forth and finding out, maybe we should tax businesses higher, or millionaires or billionaires higher. Maybe we should tax them lower. Which one works better for the GDP? Which laws are being created to make sure that the right thing happens to add to the GDP? We need to be asking ourselves these questions. We got to figure out the corporate decisions that are being made. Are they being made with the country's economy in mind? Yes, they are. But you need to be able to make sure that you're part of the conversation. So if you buy stock, you're able to influence policy at these companies. The more stock you get, the more say you have. These are all things that they don't teach in school. These are all things that they don't teach in school, but we need to know them. We need to know them. It's very, very, very important. So just to sign off, right? We can fix the economy. We can strengthen the economy, but we can't fix it ourselves. So participate in government, participate in community, participate in educating the person next to you or across from you or whatever. Send this to somebody that you care about. If you have questions, reach out to me. I will answer you. We need to stick together during these times. We need to contribute to society in a major way. We can't penalize ourselves because of whatever because whether you like Donald Trump or whether you don't like Donald Trump. You can't say, I'm not gonna make him look good. I'm gonna do all of the wrong things because we don't have the lead on dominance that we used to have. Like, it's been like since the 70s since we've been able as a country to like brag about the fact that like we are superior because of certain things, and I'll talk about that in another talk. But that's important too. But I just want to sign off and let you guys know I'm here, Board of Education. I don't know if this is a podcast or this is just how I was feeling at 1 o'clock. It's 1:02 in the morning. I don't know if this is just how I was feeling. I just needed to get it off my chest. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to tell you this stuff. And if you think I'm wrong about anything, let me know. Put me on blast. Let me know. I'm down for it. Also, I have some dope things coming. Hopefully, I see you guys at Support Fest. I know I'll see you guys during the summertime a lot. But for right now, while we're building, let's just make this online community a thing. I'm out.